with Mitch. It's getting a little bit more sentimental as these weeks progress. In fact, this might be the most sentimental we be in this topic because this is the last live Monday mornings with Mitch show. We're super stoked to finally tell you that we have a date for the new relaunch. It will be a week from today. We will officially be in good company with Mitch Morse. This is something that's been going on behind the scenes. We're ecstatic about it. We're a little bit sentimental, like I said, about it. Um, yeah, it's just been remarkable to see the outpouring of folks that who we've told in our corner, the support we've gotten, and with this rebrand, it'll be like we've said before, the same shit, different toilet, with an opportunity to grow into something beautiful. We have a great guest coming on here in about 13 to 15 minutes. Drew Lock, Super Bowl champion, Missouri legend, is going to join the show. We're going to dive into a little bit of free agency talk because that's kind of the talk of the town with, us being 4 days into it with legal tampering starting Monday. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the final live Monday Mornings with Mitch podcast.
I've got a long list of real good reasons for all the things I've done, and regret is just a memory written on my brow, and there's nothing I can do about it now.
There's nothing we can do about it now, Casey. Hahi, cheers to you, my friend.
Crack the
Along with
brewskis.
a few brewskis, along with a rebrand. We have some pretty fun folks that we get to work with coming up here in the foreseeable future, including the tasty beverages we are holding in our hand. That being said, Casey, when you hear the words free agency, what do you think?
Whew, what a whirlwind. Gosh, the first thing I think about a free agency is Maxx Crosby.
Yep. Absolutely.
Not quite sure we've seen anything like this before in free agency, but I got to tell you, man, I blame the Raiders. I blame the Raiders, and I will stand on it. I don't.
You're gonna have to explain that one, brother.
I will. But I blame the Raiders, and I understand there was a cutoff, and it was Wednesday at 4:00, right? And they tried to garner this deal Friday, which gave ample time to pull out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and everybody knows my woes of sorry. I thought you said something, but everybody knows my woes in the last about 6 months or so about buying houses. So I'm going to put this in terms of buying houses, right? So they had a Maxx Crosby, which was a $30 million home. And there was a lot of interest in that, right? And the Ravens were like, yeah, we want to buy this house. Now, it wasn't under contract. it was pending, right? Pending an inspection of a foundation problem that they figured out. And my beef is, and this is what's astonishing to me. There were other team doctors around the league that was like, hey, there's this issue. We saw it. We saw the same things you saw, blah, 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 blah. All right. And why I blame the Raiders, how did their own team doctors not see this? Did they just like, oh, hopefully they don't find out there's a crack in the foundation and they still go through and buy this house. And in the meantime, they go and buy another house of $281 million worth of free agency, and the deal fell through. I just don't get how. I get how the deal fell through, but I don't get how the Raiders just thought that the Ravens were going to be like, yeah, this is awesome. Like we're going to take this without doing their due diligence, because clearly, and I'll openly admit I'm an idiot. I probably don't know what I'm talking about. It's totally fine. But this is what I think. So that's all that matters. But like, how did their own team doctors not go to ownership or go to the GM and be like, I think there might be a problem with this. We should probably think of a contingency plan of some sort. So now Maxx Crosby wanted to get out of there, and rightfully so, because the Raiders are a dumpster fire. But now he's swimming his way back, and he's back in the facility with a bunch of people that he probably pissed off on the doorway out. And I don't, and to that, because I think they're idiots, I'm going to throw up Mark Davis's high school picture here. And that's what I think, because he has the same damn haircut. But yeah, Dumb and Dumber. I don't know what they were thinking about in this whole process, but it's been obviously the talk of free agency. And personally, I have, in my own opinion, I don't have anybody to blame other than the Raiders. And quite honestly, I feel pretty bad for Maxx Crosby, because now he has to go back to the Raiders.
Well, you feel bad for Maxx Crosby regardless of how this, of course, how this situation played out. He is prolific, he is dynamic, and in my opinion, will come back and still reestablish himself as this transcendent football player, right? Like, it is the most pertinent news around. Free agency is so insane. Like, Monday's legal tampering. I take a nap. I wake up an hour later. The whole landscape of the NFL has changed. And this just is compounded day after day after day. That being said, the player that Maxx Crosby is, when that deal was done, when he was sent back,
Yeah.
shook everything. And listen, I don't know if anyone told you in your life at some point, if it smells like poop, there's probably poop. And the thing that irks me a little bit is that Trey Hendrickson was in talks with him while Maxx Crosby was in the building. Like, it's just, for me, granted, you knew a guy is coming off of a major surgery when you take him, but you know the kind of caliber that this dude plays at. I can tell you from experience, he's the kind of guy you lose sleep over before you play. And now, great. Congratulations, Baltimore Ravens. He comes back to the Raiders, and if he suits up, yes, they have a huge cap problem because they spent $281 million on fantastic players. If they can work him in along with those guys and that rookie quarterback, who I think's, listen, it's not a done deal because the draft hasn't happened, but let's just be honest. You bring in Mendoza. He is incredible. The thing that irks me in this thing is it is a business through and through, right? You're going to deal and be dealt with and all this stuff. But part of it is this, between businesses and these general managers, is that there's usually a code that you do business by.
Yep.
And that kind of leads me to the other thing that's irked me in this free agency deal is guys being released well into tampering and into this new league year that don't get the opportunity, Casey, to go out before either free agency starts or just interject themselves when this market is being not corrected, but being acted upon, right? Like, so I'll just use my example case.
Okay.
All right. So my example was I got released by the Bills a week before free agency, and they told me that they were going to do that so that I would have an opportunity to test the market, or maybe even get signed before free agency hits, before teams spend the $281 million that they want in contracts, because that way that you can be a part of your plan. That's good business. Just baffling to me. It's good business, Casey.
That's good business.
Yes.
Whenever you hang on to the guy and don't even give him an opportunity, and then it comes the last day of free agency, and they're like, you know what? Hit the road, Jack. Like, that's
now okay, let's shift gears, because there is, like we said, you take a nap, you wake up, landscapes have changed for teams and encompassing the whole NFL. Guys hit these second contracts. Some of these guys are hitting thirds, and they're making life-changing money, profoundly, generate, this generational wealth that you strive for in the NFL. There's a few moves that kind of were sneaky that stood out to me that people aren't talking about. One guy in particular with one team who's got new management, and by new management, I mean a new head coach, and Robert Saleh, who I think is a fantastic defensive coordinator. You get to pair a guy with Jeffrey Simmons on that defense, and that's John Franklin Myers, a guy who, if you ask any offensive line who's played him in the past, I don't know, half decade, will tell you that this man gives you problems. He can play on the outside. He can play on the inside. And yes, he's on the wrong side of 30, but this man is aged like fine wine. Is fantastic. You bring in, was it Romeo Doubs over from the Green Bay Packers to pair also with Calvin Ridley.
Yep.
The Titans make these sneaky moves. And then you pair like Romeo Doubs with Brian Daboll and a pass heavy offense where you have the potential. And Brian Daboll is known for kind of growing and getting these young quarterbacks into these places where they can put up points and win games. You pair that, a high scoring offense with those weapons, with a defense that has accrued a lead, and now they're going to rush the passer case.
Yep.
That's a damn problem. Casey, is there any move that was made or person that stands out to you going to a different team that you think, wow, that was pretty interesting, or that guy's going to be a difference maker?
I don't know if it's any particular play. I mean, I will say this, Kenneth Walker leaving Seattle and going to Kansas City is a pretty big move, I think. But in general, I would say outside of that, like one of the things that I'm kind of interested in this free agency is the quarterbacks, and kind of how I think this kind of started with Russell Wilson. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when he left Denver and went to Pittsburgh, which as a Steeler fan was god awful, but that's neither here nor there. But now it's crazy that like quarterbacks are rentals now, because the team that they left is fronting the bill for them to play for another team, and the team that they're going to is basically signing them for league minimum or vet minimum, or maybe slightly over. And there's situations like this in this year as well with Geno Smith, Kyler Murray, Tua. Am I missing anybody? Because there could be a few, but like those are the three main ones. And to me, does that really get your team anywhere in a sense? Because like you talk about changing offensive coordinators and how tough that is, because they bring a new playbook. The offense has to learn a new offense, so on and so forth. You bring a new quarterback, they have to learn, and cohesion and things of that nature on a team are such a huge thing. And when you have a quarterback, it's only going to be there for a year. Someone like Pittman, for instance, and I know you and I talked about this today. He's awesome going to the Steelers, but he had three quarterbacks when he was at the Colts. Now he'll have potentially Aaron Rodgers, which probably for a year, and then we'll probably have another quarterback. So like, you're talking what, 2 years or 3 years of football for him, and he's got 5-6 different quarterback. Like, how do you get any camaraderie there, or any like get on the same page with chemistry? But there is a situation like a Sam Darnold.
Absolutely.
And there's that Sam Darnold story where he bounced around, went to, multiple teams. It didn't quite work here. It didn't quite work there. It worked really well here. And then, what is it, 7-8 years later, and he's a freaking Super Bowl champion.
Well, to your point, I feel like in the last half decade or so, maybe even less than that, there just seems to be so many quarterbacks available, whether it be for these 1-year deals or these veteran backups or these guys that are quit on early that have had these starting caliber, the starting experience. And yeah, I mean, like what it does set up for is, to your point, opportunities for these redemption stories, which make the NFL landscape so fascinating. It just makes a good story. And I think there's a guy who can talk about Sam Darnold that's joining the show. He's in the lobby. Case, would you be able to let him in? To set this up, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Super Bowl 60 champion, Missouri's all-time passing touchdown record holder.
Yep.
Great dude. Please welcome to the show, Drew Lock.
There he
is, dude. We snuck up on you. We told you a certain time, and then we got you good, dude. How are you, brother?
You got me. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, buddy. Has the party high come down at all, or are you still riding high?
Yeah, it came down a little bit. It came down, honestly. probably 10 hours after the parade because I proceeded to have some fun that day
Of course.
and get on an airplane from Seattle to Orlando, Florida, with our 2-year-old and our 3-month-old, and then take a train from Orlando to North Palm Beach
Oh,
the next
nice.
morning. So the fun immediately ended that
Oh,
morning when having to do that.
was that
So
the
yeah,
the new Brightline train?
it was the
Yeah,
Brightline train.
yeah.
Yeah, there was
Heard
no direct flights into Palm Beach that earned a PBI that I liked. So we flew to Orlando and
Yeah, that's
zoomed
all
down on
right.
the Brightline. Yeah.
Now, is that one of those trips that you and the wife plan at the end of the season that you're like, listen, if we do make it to the Super Bowl, it's going to be a tight squeeze, but we know that's hard fetched. Of course, you guys know what kind of team you have, but then you actually have to
Yeah.
pay the piper when you do go to the Super Bowl and go through the parade and stuff.
Oh yeah. It is. Yeah. I think it was like how we kind of do it every year. It's all right. If we're not gonna be in the playoffs, this is probably the date. First round will be this date. Second round will be this date. Third round, Super Bowl, whatever it may be. Book flights every week. Change it over to the next week. Change it over to the next week, and just be prepared. Because if it was just us, whatever, we'll book the flight a couple of days before and zoom down. But trying to get the seats in a row to have
Oh, yeah.
him, myself, my wife, and an extra seat just in case he wants to lose his mind.
Yeah,
We had to do
absolutely.
some planning ahead. Yeah.
Well, so you're learning the traveling with kids.
Yes.
Listen, it can be cumbersome at times, but when you finally get from point A to point B, and then you remove yourself or self, which is like this kid screamed the whole time. I haven't slept. We're traveling with a pack and play or whatnot, whatever, however you do it. But then you finally look at it through your kid's eyes and like, this is pretty cool experience. Is it still something that you're kind of getting used to, or can you actually enjoy it with the kid when you guys go on vacation?
Yeah. No, it's definitely enjoyable. We're actually blessed to have a place down here. My parents bought a condo in 2020 on Singer Island in North Palm Beach, Florida, and it just so happened the unit next to it came up for sale. So my wife and
Oh,
I bought the one next to them. There's only 2 units on each floor, so we have basically the whole floor here, and it's been really fun. So being able to get them down here, he's got his crib. We had the
Huge.
snoo ready when for the baby. Like it was smooth sailing once we got here. It was just like, let's get here. But man, seeing him come off the elevator, he knew which way to go. It was ours, or which one was Lala and Grandy's, or which one was ours. Like it was cool.
Dude, total game changer. I did not know that. Fantastic. Congratulations to you and the
Thank you.
fam.
Thank you.
The snoo, is that the thing where you put in the baby
Oh
and it
yeah.
moves to thing? All right. So pretty polarizing stuff in the family department because some people live by it. We had it, and what it does, Case, is you put the kid in and it's like a crib that rocks. It listens to the kids like noise level. The more it's noisy, they're tight in there and it moves. So my daughter was just in there screaming and as loud as it possibly could, shaking. But some kids go for it. Now, is that something that the snoo was something you guys rocked with from kiddo one?
Yeah, we started with kiddo one with the snoo, and he was the one screaming in it, waggling back and forth. And I'm like, I can't see him do that. I got to hit the button and turn it off. Now, our second, Landry, our daughter, she she sleeps in it, but we've never plugged it in. It's never had
Oh,
the
wow.
shaky back and forth,
the shit.
and she's been fine. She sleeps. Honestly, she's been sleeping through the night for about 2 weeks now, and it's been wonderful.
Which is great that she doesn't need the shaky back and forth because post Super Bowl parade, flying train, dad had the shaky back and
I
forths.
had the shakies already.
Trying not to yak. Buddy, low hanging fruit. Drew Lock, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah,
How does that
let's
feel,
go.
man?
Oh, it's awesome. It's so cool. I mean, going through this process of, high school, wanting to make it to college. I got the opportunity from Missouri. You're playing in Missouri, you're like, man, I hope I play good enough ball to make it to the NFL. But it's always like, I'm having fun doing this. I'm with my boys. And then that happened. And then it's like, all right, I got to become a starter. All right, I got to make it to a second contract. All right. Super Bowl is always there. But man, let me tell you, when you get there and you're living it and you're playing it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is spectacular. This is something that, it's always in the back of your mind. Um, but man, when it became reality, it was so cool.
That's what every kid dreams of, in every sport. Making it to
Is
the Stanley Cup, making it to the Super Bowl, making it to the NBA Finals, like that's
yeah,
so cool. It's so
it
cool.
was unbelievable. It was awesome.
Well,
So cool.
Casey and I, we were in San Francisco
Mhm.
Okay.
talking to a few folks. We get to talk to the flyover folks.
Mm.
And I mean, you always envision there's something to when you play in the NFL for a bit or you're associated with it at all, like the national anthem, no matter when you hear it, even when you're done, raises your heart rate to about a buck 20, right?
Yes.
But it just seems to mean a little more on the biggest stage with Charlie Puth giving it the business, the flyover. What's the emotions like when that thing is concluding?
So it was my heart rate was up there, but for two different reasons. One, the coolest one, my son loves the national anthem. It's his favorite part of watching football. The flyover, the song. He calls it "By Donder." So if we're ever in the car and I hear him saying "By Donder," he wants to hear it. And he was at the game, and I was just on the sideline, almost in tears, thinking about having a son who's probably screaming the song in the stands, not even really realizing the kind of stage that he's at, the game that he's at,
Yeah.
how cool and blessed it is that one day he'll be able to look back and say that he was at this game. The heart rate was definitely up for that. It was awesome. But every game this year, with losing my father in early April, all the national anthems have been heavy for me too at the same
No doubt.
time. So there was a heaviness and like a full heartness to that song that day, and it was cool to experience both of that. And I have to say this: our NFC Championship game, Zach Top did the national anthem.
Oh, mustache and all, huh?
Dude, the flyover was sick. That's the one when he says "By Donder," I will go to YouTube. I will pull up the Zach Top, and we will listen to it 3 or 4 times in a row. He killed it. Killed it.
Well, it does. It's interesting when you interject family into this thing, like your son's in there, it puts perspective. And I would like to raise a toast to your pops.
Yeah.
Just a beautiful man. I've always wanted to tell you this story. I ran into him. He might have told you this in Cabo.
Oh yeah.
And there's something about Papa Locke when you run into him. He just had this aura, this moxie, but also this kindness, all married into one. You felt like you knew him for years. He had this warmness about him. It's what made him so successful in business and what made him so enticing to talk to on the regular. And for that, and for us getting wasted in Cabo, I cheers to Pops.
Yeah, cheers to
that. That was a
that.
good time.
He was very excited to call me and tell me about that.
We had a
very excited.
That was a really kick-ass resort, though, and to run into a familiar face was such a treat.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Hey, so we talked to Chase Daniel a few weeks ago, talking about the relationship with the starting quarterback and the backup quarterback, and how it seems to be the most intimate. Usually has another connotation, but it is one of the most intimate relationships in the building. And unless you're part of the building, you don't quite understand it. Casey and I, before this, were talking about quarterbacks moving in free agency, because free agency is all about right now. But what it does set up for is some unbelievable comeback stories. Dudes who we know got it, who do it the right way, eat shit from folks that don't matter, come about and then handle their fucking business, hoist Lombardi trophy. And if I was him, I would have said, "Suck it, world." But no, it's just the kind
of a lot worse.
Yeah, well, but the kind of guy he is, he handled it with grace and marched on.
He did.
Can you, and this is a super broad question, what's it like sharing a room with Sam Darnold?
Yeah, dude. First off, he's so much fun to be around. That's gonna be one of my great friends, and till we're all dead and gone and out of here. He's been fantastic to be with in the room, and one of the coolest things about him, and I think it speaks to kind of his journey too, was just how steady he was all the time. Good day, bad day, the oblique thing.
Yeah.
Struggling in the first game against the Rams, bouncing back in a dogfight in the second game against the Rams, and having to play him a third time. Good throw, bad throw, touchdown, interception. Dude, the guy was the same the whole time. And like even after the game, I finally went back and watched the Super Bowl like broadcast and fast forward to the end and them showing him after the game walking out there. I'm like, yeah, he
Just
is still so
straight
I
even
probably would have had
kill.
my pads off, running around screaming. He was just like, dude, it's been phenomenal to watch. And as a guy that like has been known to ride a few highs and maybe get into a little bit of lows, man, it was something awesome to like take from him this year and really see like firsthand, like he's a killer, man. He's a killer.
Dude, he is a killer. He doesn't seem to let his hair down much, but are there times where Sam Darnold lets his hair down?
There is, yeah, there is. The bachelor trip we went on was a good time. We went up to Georgia and played a little golf,
As you should.
and yeah, he can let his hair down. He can let his hair down. I was in a group with him one morning, and I said, "Morning." It was flowing in the wind. He was having fun. We all had fun. Yeah, even in the quarterback room, getting in there early, messing around. He's got a cool sense of humor. He's showing me guys on Instagram and guys that I might not have necessarily seen or followed and end up following. He's cool, man. He's a really cool guy, and I'm so grateful and so blessed to be in a room with him.
That's
He
awesome.
just seems so exceptionally so kind. We asked him to do a little like we had interviewed Josh and we asked him. I texted him through different avenues. I'd never talked to the guy or met the guy, and I asked him
Yeah,
to send in a video. He was instantly responded. He had just signed, this big deal. He was in training camp in the thralls of these expectations, and just and little things like that with folks you really don't know speak so much on the character of a man. And I think what you hear about Sam Darnold is just there's compounding evidence and moments where he just the man himself shines through. And to see him hoist that Lombardi trophy, even
yeah,
though I haven't met him in person, dude, I was jumping up and down, talking about throwing, it was just such a hoot. Have you gotten to know his little contingency of friends? Like, there's Christian Kirk, there's Kyle
yeah.
Allen, there's Josh Allen. Have you gotten to get to know any of those folks at all?
I have. I have. The irony in all this too is my quarterback coach in Kansas City. His name's Justin Hoover. Him and we actually went out to California and trained with Jordan Palmer, and that was only 1 year after Sam was in the league. So Sam, Josh, and Kyle were still training with Jordan when I was training for the combine. Got to spend time with him there. Sam was my roommate at the U.S. Army All-American game in high school, and we did the Elite 11 together. It's like we had known each other for a while, and then getting to meet some of his friends in the draft prep. Those guys were out in Georgia as well. I said to him again, maybe a few beverages in, I was like, dude, try not to get too sappy here, but like your friend group, man, like your friend group is solid, and it speaks a lot about who you are as a man and kind of the man that I've seen you to be this year. All I got to do is get in a room with your friends, and I'd know the type of man you are. So speaking of those friends, yes, they're great dudes.
Well, you are who you surround yourself with, and I've gotten to know all those guys, and they like to have fun,
Yeah,
but they're also unbelievable people. And when you marry both of those together, you're in for a hell of a time and for a hell of a fellowship. So I'm glad you were able to enjoy that bachelor party.
that was
I
cool.
know Josh was on baby watch. I'm not going to ask any more questions about it because you've spoken enough that you're comfortable with. What I do want to what I do want to talk about is the Seahawks in general. Okay.
Mhm.
You've had a few stints in different places. You started with Denver, went to Seattle actually, then went to New York with Brian Daboll, which we could have a whole podcast on Brian Daboll.
Yeah.
And then but we won't. And then you went back to Seattle. So you've seen a few organizations how they handle their business. From a player's perspective, what makes Seattle different from these other places?
Yeah, I'd say it starts at the top. I mean, I know that's like a cliche answer, but um, John Schneider, who I've gotten to know really well over this is gonna be my 4th year with the team, does a really, really good job of obviously finding really good players. I mean, that's you gotta have good players. You gotta be
No
able to
doubt.
go out and produce on Sundays. But the type of guys that I feel like they go after, they sign in free agency or they draft, make the facility better. There's no negative energy. There's no one you look at like this guy's a complainer, this guy doesn't work hard, dude. That all great dudes. and that spreads to strength staff, training room, equipment room. The equipment room are some of my best friends. The head equipment guy let me stay at his home in Eastern Washington when I was driving to Utah one time. Like it's just
Hey, what's his name? Give him a shout out.
his name is Eric Kennedy,
Eric
and
Kennedy.
he is a
Cheers to you,
legend.
my friend. What a legend.
He's a
Hey,
legend in the Seahawks community.
as you well know, most equipment guys are, but please carry on.
Yes. I think blending that with one, the support that the city has, such a cool football town, and then add in Coach McDonald this year. I mean, I was talking to John my last year in Seattle. They were going through hiring a new coach after Pete, and we were just talking. I'm like, hey man, we just played the Ravens this year, and we had to prep that week probably harder than we've ever prepped. We were talking about a lot of things going into this game against this DC. I think that could be a good hire, man. And he's like, yeah, no, we really like him. But mixing that all together, man, having the right guys, a great group of guys that work hard for each other. The kind of the saying was like, it's just an egoless team that has like zero doubt. And shoot, I think we went out and played like it every Sunday.
Well, it seemed like, because I was looking at the did we lose in case?
Yeah. We'll be back here in a minute, guys. Oh, there he is.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, to your point there, Drew, it was interesting because I always like to look at the celebrations after games, especially the Super Bowl, and the guys were celebrating. But it was kind of one of these really good teams that you see after the Super Bowl sometimes when they win. It's just like yep, okay,
you knew it. You
kind of knew it.
Yeah.
You kind of felt it. Was that something that was undeniable?
Yeah, I think we knew how good we were, but it was never like a boastful thing. It was, we knew we had to go out and play. We knew we had to go play well. The defense needed to do what they did all year, and the offense needed to go out and put up some points. It was never an arrogance. It was, we knew we were good. And even to speak to that, like we go into that team meeting when we get back, and we just did not know how to end the meeting. It was like, okay, good job this year. All right, good job. Ready, break. It was one of those. It was like, we should be playing. Who are we playing next?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And to be a part of a team like that and have that feeling for the first time in my career was really cool.
Well, because how many times have you ended a season? Every other season, every other team ends it with like, "Hey, we sniffed it, boys," but only one team ends up happy at the end of the year. I'm sure you've heard a coach say that. Hey, guess what? You guys were the happy teams this year. Congratulations. And I know Casey is itching to ask a question about those celebrations.
Buddy,
Case.
I'm a hell of a partier.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
And gosh, I wish I would have made it to the pinnacle of, I played hockey, man. It's just growing up, you always just dream about winning a Stanley Cup, and I'm talking to a Super Bowl champion, which is fucking amazing.
You guys party a little harder than us, though. I think.
Well, yeah,
those hockey players.
But I never made it there. I never made it to the Stanley Cup. But I want to know. I want to know what the parade was like. I want to know what the after party was like. I want to know what the locker room was like.
Shoot, man. First off,
I mean, you could keep it PG or not. It doesn't matter.
No, it's always PG, man. The locker room was super cool. Jalen Sundell, our starting center, did a phenomenal job with having the cigars ready.
There you go.
That was
Fantastic.
perfect. Ace of Spades was cool. A couple bins of just full of beers. It got to a point where it was like, guys, are we gonna leave? Are we gonna go to this party afterwards, or are we just let's just hang out in here the whole night? But the locker room was really cool. I think there was a lot of like, oh my gosh, we did it. We're here. This is us. We're the best. We're the best in the world. Mixed with a little bit of dancing, screaming, all the above. But man, the parade was phenomenal.
And Seattle is such a great city too.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. I forgot who it was. It was Julian Love or Witherspoon. There's bottles of Don Julio's in all of our lockers when we got there that morning to get on the buses to go to the stadium. And I was like, well, all right, I'm taking that. We get off the bus at the stadium, and we don't see the buses that like you see us all on in the pictures where we're standing on top. And we go to our locker room. We're there for like 30 minutes. So the drinks have been flowing for a little over an hour now. And we don't really know what we're walking into in this stadium. Everybody starts going. Me, Sam, and Jalen are like kind of some of the last guys to walk into the stadium. And me and Jalen go. Someone stopped Sam for a second. So me and Jay and our wives and girlfriends are standing there waiting for Sam to come out. And that stadium was full. It was
Oh my
full
God.
of people. And I could just like feel, I'm like, Sam's gonna come walking out of this tunnel right now, and this place is gonna lose their mind. I'm in the greatest state of mind I've ever been in on this field right now. So this is gonna be this is gonna be really cool. And man, when I tell you that place lost it, those guys getting up there giving speeches, it was time to head to the buses and like really get it going and see the rest of the city.
God.
And I can't tell you how many times Cooper Cup was to my right, Sam was to my left on these buses going through the city. I can tell you how many times we all looked at each other and said, "Yeah, we gotta do this again. We gotta come back and experience this one more time," because it was one of the coolest things. And having my wife there on the bus as well, I think she'll go down and say, besides the 2 days of the kids, I think she puts that day above our marriage day. Like she thought it was the coolest ordeal, man, and so did I. It was unbelievable. It was so much fun, and there was no bathrooms on the bus, so that became a problem about 45 minutes into this ride, and there was a solution, but not the
Sure.
greatest.
The fans are getting blessed with. Well, no, that is what you.
It does
though,
rain in Seattle.
It does
It
rain.
does rain in Seattle. It's a really good point, Case. You'd think they'd have restrooms on these buses.
Yeah, I think we all assumed that there would be, so there was no.
Oh,
We
I
didn't
would
take
be
care of it before
toast.
we got onto them, and good thing there's a lot of bottles,
Yeah.
a
Oh,
lot of bottles that were empty on that thing.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic.
well,
yeah,
I
it was
will,
good.
I will ask this. So, Super Bowl champion, and obviously being a professional athlete, like you get thrown into a whole different mecca of people that you associate with and people that text you and people you talk to, mixed through all sports and things of that nature. What was the wildest or most surprising text message you got after the win from somebody that you're like, holy shit, like I can't believe this person's texting me right now?
Goodness, I think from like a bigger perspective, being a kid growing up, being a Missouri Tiger fan, seeing Chase and seeing Blaine both have been on Super Bowl teams. I was chasing them my whole life. Like when I
Yeah.
got there, like I want to be these guys. And then when I got there, it's like, all right, I got to find a way to be better than these guys somehow. And then I get to the NFL, and it's like, all right, Chase is a backup. Blaine became a backup. I became a backup. Like, all right, we're kind of in this realm. I need to go get a Super Bowl now somehow. And then for that to happen and kind of complete the little triangle of Missouri quarterbacks to hear from I think the Missouri GOAT Chase Daniel congratulating me. I was like, but dude, like I was just trying to be you my whole life, you know. It was
That's
cool.
pretty
We had conversations before then, but to get the congratulatory Super Bowl text was like, all right, yeah, that's really cool.
That's that MIZ family.
It is.
That's
It is.
how
And
you finish up with the ZOU kid.
Zio,
It had
you
to
big
be.
dog.
It just had to solidify that moment, right? Like, yes, you are in the lore. Not only do you yourself have Super Bowl to you, but also you're part of this great tradition of Missouri quarterbacks who have this illustrious college career and then go on to have this Super Bowl, this opportunity. Like it's fantastic. I want to talk about Missouri a little bit.
Let's do it.
Here's what I want to talk about.
So,
You left the University of Missouri
Okay.
as the all-time passing touchdown leader. And you accrued 4 years starting. You had a fantastic career. I was able to watch it from afar. But, man, it was just fun to see you light it up and do your thing, my friend.
Thank you.
You had 4 years. And I know you didn't start immediately, but you had plenty of starting experience towards the end of your freshman year, and then on. So did you touch the NIL at all? Like, was the NIL a thing when you were there?
So it wasn't.
Oh.
It was not. And I didn't even receive a handshake Evan Boehm hosted me on my official visit, and if they gave him $40, he took those $40 and spent it at Harpo's that night. Like, didn't receive a dollar
You didn't
in my
even get
time.
a single Benjamin handshake.
Not even a
Nothing.
Benji handshake. Nothing. Nothing. No.
Golly.
It's just
Well, to
disappointing.
be honest, there were really no, $100 handshakes in Missouri. Maybe at other
Yeah.
places like Georgia or
Didn't
something
happen very
like that.
often. Yeah.
Right? Do you ever sit back in bed at night? I'm sure you dream about many things and think about other more important things, but you've had a great career in the NFL, but you ever thought back and like, man, I think I kind of missed out on some cheese in college.
Brother. Yes. I'm not. I would like to think anybody that knows me knows that I'm really not an arrogant guy. I don't necessarily talk about myself too much, but this one gets me fired up. My junior year, to hold the record of most touchdowns ever in the history of the Southeastern Conference for a single season.
44. Well, passing, I think.
You'd have to think I could have made a little bit of dough to either stay at Missouri, like you're gonna have to pay me to stay here, or somebody's like, well, this kid's throwing more touchdowns than anybody ever.
Right.
Let's go pay him X amount of dollars, whatever it was.
In this
but-
day and age, you'd be making like $3 to $5 million a year.
which is nuts because we were living off of whatever that check was that we got from the university for books or whatever. But also I think
40,000.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think back to it too. I think it'd be an interesting aspect as a 18, 19, 20, 21 to have money on your mind. I think there's
Totally.
a freedom to just being with your boys and going out and trying to ball and seeing what happens next. But it would have helped out in very many ways, and not for only myself, for many other people too. I think it's definitely an opportunity that is kind of making the playing field a little even now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be good for ball,
Well, it could be good for ball. It could be good for the Fighting Tigers of Missouri. What do you think about drinking the fellas?
Some good football being played. Some really good football being played. Brady Cook is a close friend of mine. We train with the same guy in Kansas City, Justin. And so I got to know him a little bit in like his recruiting process, but then getting to be with him now and talking to him going into his rookie year, he gets to play a little bit. I'm excited to go back to Kansas City here in a couple weeks and spend some time with those guys. I went back for one game. I need to get back again. It's kind of hard to convince the wife to
Well, also
kind of hard to convince the wife sometimes to head to Missouri in December or January when we know we have the beach, but we're gonna get back. We're building a home in Kansas City. I convinced her, and that was not easy to do.
Oh,
Not easy to do, but
love is a two-way street, my friend.
She's gonna
Marriage
love
is a
it.
two-way street.
She's gonna love it.
Pick and choose. So, is it Lee Summit?
It's technically a little south of Lee Summit. It's the community, or however you want to call it, Block Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah,
you were on it.
that's the way to do it, dude. It's crazy.
You were on it.
I know what kind of house you're about to build at Lock Lloyd because they have stipulations. We won't talk.
You have stipulations.
They have stipulations of what you can and can't build. You better invite me to that kick-ass house you're about to build because that thing's about to be a fucking trip, dude. That's sick.
If I have enough money left, I'll fly you down. But we'll see if there's any left.
Pops, I will find a way to get down there. We'll play Lock Lloyd. It's a beautiful course. It's a fantastic thing what they've done down there. Kansas City still feel like home?
It does, man. It really does. I get such a joy going back there. Just feel like, obviously, through my sports, there's a recognition there, but really my dad through the restaurants laid such a great foundation for myself, my family going forward, my son, my daughter, my hopefully future kids. The name holds a little weight in the town, and I'm excited to go back and keep that alive. And I love that place. I love Lee Summit. I love Kansas City, and it's special. I love all the people there. It just warms my heart to be back, and I'm so excited that I get to have a family and an awesome home and um, be back there, man. It's just warms my heart.
Yeah, I can see it get lit up a little bit about it. You are
Yeah, it
going to have a
does.
kick-ass home. Those stipulations are nuts. But food is in the family,
It
right?
is.
Restaurants. Is that something that still lights you up a bit as well? Is that something you want to dabble in? Or are you guys good with where you are? Like, are you going to be just,
Yeah. It was always kind of my backup plan. It was, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna go learn from my dad and
yeah,
help carry that business on. I think I've kind of removed myself from it. What I really want to do is honestly a lot of what I've said his name. This will be the third time Justin Hoover does. He's the quarterback coach that I've worked with since I was in eighth grade, and um, man, he's like family. And I think being able to impact kids, especially at the quarterback position, because it is so nutty. And I can't even imagine now, like we're talking about with high school
mhm.
kids thinking about signing contracts for money. Um, Being able to go back to Kansas City and Lee Summit and help those kids come out of there because it's always the California Qs, the Texas Qs, the
Yeah.
Florida Qs. Like we play good football in Missouri, and there's a lot of good guys that can come out of there. And I want to establish that culture there even more than Justin's done, and continue that with him, and you know, do the best I can to just have a positive impact on, I think, a really, really important position in all of sports.
The most important position in all of sports. I'll say it for you. Hey, do me a favor and keep these Missouri kids
Yeah.
in
In
Missouri, dude.
in Missouri. In Missouri.
Please.
It's
And if you
always
have,
the running joke is like if kids from Missouri went to Missouri, there'd be zero problems. We would be a really, really, really good football team. That's why I know Luther's wasn't used technically East St. Louis, which would be Illinois, but St. Louis nonetheless.
of
Keep the
course.
guys close. Getting a guy like that. We had Terry Beckner in my class. Um, AJ Ofadale came back to us, but he went to Oregon. It was one of those guys like, come on back,
Mhm.
man. Like, just stay around. We could have done something. But yeah, keep the Missouri dudes in Missouri, man.
And also bring a few fellas from Texas up
You
there
can.
and
You can bring
and what
Texas and
and
Florida and Alabama and
bring
Mississippi.
Texas, Florida. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
California can keep those folks out there.
keep them over there.
They live. They're
Especially ones with red hair that wear number 14. Yeah,
yeah, but they got a chip on their shoulder that will not quit, pal. Those
they
guys,
do.
they're smooth sailing customers. Uh, we were going to conclude that. I don't want to conclude it. I could talk to you all night. You have a
It's just fun.
family to go back with, but we want to do a little fun segment at the end of this
Yeah,
thing.
let's do it.
All right, so it's called Drew Lock It In. Okay.
Lock it in. All right, let's hear it.
Now, here's the thing. We're going to some of these are just rapid fire questions. Some of these are lock based questions. And that
Okay.
might be confusing to you, but once we ask you these questions, they will
You'll
make a lot more
understand.
sense. All
Got
right.
it.
So the first question is, and we're kind of in the same vein as the PG version of what you gave for Sam's bachelor party. Do the
Okay.
best you can with this one. The best night out on the town you had in Como while in college.
Ooh, any of the nights after the spring game. Any of the nights. Any of them.
Oh, dude.
Field house. Otherwise, people sometimes call it Willie's. Field house, back door, Rumpleman shot to enter,
Oh,
and just
No,
go from there.
that's religious. Is that your is Fieldhouse your spot?
Field house was the one.
Fieldhouse is
Fieldhouse
the
was
one. Oh, you
the
talked
one.
about it like a girlfriend that got away.
Yeah. I do miss her from time to time. It'd be nice to be back there. Actually, when we went back, I took Nat to Willie's and our field house. I'm like, you gotta see this place. This is
It
the
just doesn't
bar.
end, dude. It just
Doesn't.
it
And then you
encompasses
get
it
back
all.
there to that.
It's nice. It's nice. Well, spring game, you hit a chord because those were holidays, almost
Oh,
religious holidays. I don't know if anywhere, like everywhere, but definitely in Missouri. And Casey, one year it coincided with my 21st birthday. I turned 21 at a
oh,
spring game.
oh no.
And
Yeah. Oh no,
my
it was right.
dude, and my roommate had a kegerator and that he filled just for me. We threw a bash. We were going to go out because it would always back in the day. It was just these house parties that, and back then you could get shut down. Like the cops would just say, "Hey, get home safely." They wouldn't arrest you.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go back. Dude, I started drinking at 7. Didn't make it out of the house. I passed out at 8:45. and my wife had to do a wellness check for 14 straight hours.
Nice.
So, and then we had a brunch the next day, a birthday brunch at like 11 a.m. I stopped drinking at like 7:45, which is really embarrassing. But I was being driven by a friend who has a breathalyzer in his car. This isn't smart to do, young kids.
I think,
but it was to make sure like no one ever gotten behind the wheel of a car when intoxicated. So it was more for preventive. And he's like, I'm just curious. He gave it to me, and I was still blowing a 0.09 14 hours later. It was a great time. Okay, well done.
Had a time.
Yeah, spring ball, fantastic.
Perfect.
Okay, so the next question. What mythical creature supposedly lives in a Scottish lake?
Oh, the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, bingo. He's on his feet.
Let's go.
He is the Loch Ness Monster.
Locked in.
Locked in on the Loch Ness. All right. Next question. Top 3 athletes you ever shared a field with?
Pure athletes. DK Metcalf.
Oh, of course.
Von Miller.
Yeah.
No. Von's the mayor.
And I'm going to throw this one out there. Same category as Von, but Brian Burns.
Oh.
Just freaky dudes.
Brian Burns is sneaky. Brian Burns is sneaky freaky, dude. Like, no, he in the athletic department, that man is phenomenal. I mean, dude, what he have like almost 20 sacks this year? What, 18?
And I feel like it probably should have been talked about more. I know that they had a little more success. It maybe would have, but dude, we went into an OTA's practice, and DJ was recovering, so I was rolling with the ones, and I'm in stretch lines, and I'm like, is Brian Burns not here today? Oh my gosh, we're gonna roll today. We're gonna roll. It was our best offensive practice. He couldn't ruin the practice for us, and from then on, I'm like, the only other person I've really, seen do that when I was back there playing was Vaughn in practice.
Oh yeah.
My second year in Denver, it was like if he wanted to take a practice over, it could be his practice if he wanted it to be.
Vaughn, we had Vaughn in Buffalo, and he was exceptional.
Mm-hmm.
There was a story about him in Denver where he looks at coach during one-on-ones and goes, if I beat every single one of these guys, 5 guys in one-on-one pass rush in a row, can I go home? And he's like, yeah. And he went and beat every single one of them and walked off the field. Dude.
Yeah. Got to put your money on Mr. Miller.
He did one of these. All he does is one of these.
Yeah.
And he's about this off the ground, and then he's gone.
And he's skin-tight Under Armours.
Skin-tight Under Armour, and then he's DJing in the locker room.
And then he's going to DJ for you at the end of it.
With the loudest music you've ever heard in your entire life. It's fantastic.
Yes. Yep.
Very well done. Kind of in the same vein, give me your top 3 Missouri athletes of all time.
So I'm going to throw it way back. I'm going to try to not say quarterbacks because that's where I'm pretty biased.
You can. Hey, you totally can.
Yeah.
But Brad Smith.
Oh, top notch.
Beast. I got to go Chase again because athletically, I think me and him could argue about what does athletic mean, but just a beast. Chase Daniel. And then I'm going to throw it back to a Kansas City guy, Hooper, Marcus Denman.
Oh, he
just a
was
dog on the court.
Baller.
Dog on the court. Love that he was from the city. And
yeah, he can play now.
Man, I loved watching Marcus. I ran into him at a quick trip when I was I think I was in 8th grade. I was too afraid to say anything to him. I ran back to the car. My dad was waiting out. I ran inside. I'm like, Dad, Marcus Denman was inside this quick trip right now. Yeah, another childhood idol of mine.
Dude, shout out Quick Trip, by the way. Fantastic.
Oh, QT.
QT, nothing like him. Okay, so this one. In around 500 BC, Romans developed the first durable iron-based portable lock, known now as what?
Portable lock.
Let's put that Missouri education to work.
Yeah. A safe? I don't know.
No, listen.
That's pretty good.
That's a padlock. They were the
Padlock,
first ones to ever invent padlocks. Shout out.
that's a dumb answer because they didn't even have lock in the answer.
No, it's fine. The Romans, did a lot of super duper not cool stuff, but they
That's not
also
a that wasn't a bad wrong answer. I'll say that.
no. I mean,
Safe.
dude, if someone had asked me that question, I
wouldn't
would
have
have
known.
tried to fight because that's insane
Yeah.
question. But you did great. Listen, you're known for you're a great gift because it's like you're doing your
Yeah.
thing, you're dancing, the Holy Spirit comes out. Certain artists seem to make you move. If you're looking like you're at a wedding and someone says, Drew, you're sitting down, you're not having a good time, I'm going to go ask the DJ
Yeah.
to put on an artist, and I want you to let your dog out. What artist
hmm
are you asking to be put on for the DJs on the ones and twos?
The safest route is always anything by Drake.
Mm.
Don't give me slow Drake though. Give me some upbeat, some heavy beats by Drake.
Mm. Any one in particular?
Honestly, I hate to say it because it is kind of slower, but I would love Late Night Wedding to hear Sandra's Rose come on by Drake. It's not one of his most popular songs. It's popular, but Sandra's Rose is phenomenal. Sandra's Rose and When to Say When. If I'm driving late, headed home, long day at the office, those two will be on repeat.
Yeah, shout out
Can't tell
Drake.
you
He's the
why.
man.
It just
No,
hits. But Morgan Wallen, Post Malone,
of
Jeezy,
course. But the Holy Spirit
those
told
four.
you to turn on Drake, and I love that for you.
Did.
All right. You're also known for being a hooper.
Mm.
You got a little bit of a shot on you there, kid. I've seen it in action. It's fantastic. All right. With last year's Super Bowl Seahawks roster, right? Because I know transactions have been made. Make a
Yeah.
starting five.
Shoot. I'll be the 2.
Hell yeah.
Um, we can go Witherspoon at the 1.
Yes.
Some basketball highlights I've recently seen of him. He was kind of hooping. Let's see. We'll go Leonard Williams at the 5.
Yeah, that's a great one.
We'll get him doing a couple like suicides before we play anyone. Just get the sprinting down, the long runs down. So we got the 1, the 2, and the 5. At 3, we'll go Sammy D.
Mm.
And then at the 4 is kind of a pivotal spot. Let's go with, now it could be all muscle, but we're not going to lose in the rebound department. DeMarcus Lawrence would be,
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. He's going to box anybody out that you put out there. He's going to go up and get boards. Hopefully he can finish the cup. Just post somebody up and let me get it to you down there.
Man, he seems like an awesome guy to have on your team. I hated playing the guy. He's got a fire, dude. He's got a fire.
Crazy motor.
Because Leonard seems like you could also slide him over to the 4 if you needed to, though. But you want some beef down there, like give you a little bit of hook.
I want some beef down there.
And Sam from the 3 can dish it, but is also a lethal weapon out there.
Correct.
I dig that.
Correct. And Spoon's also going to get us going. You know,
yeah.
he's
don't say.
Get us going. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like a little fiery dude.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last question. Listen, before we say this last question, we've gotten to dive in with Drew Lock, Super Bowl champion, Missouri legend. We can't thank you enough for joining Monday Mornings with Mitch. It'll soon be next week in good company with Mitch Morse. We're hoping to have Drew Lock back on because Drew, I got a text from my wife mid-conversation that was just like, Drew's awesome.
Good people.
Great chat, good vibes. So you get the wife seal approval. I'm going to have to harass you to get back on.
Love that. Good.
Thank you for sharing your time.
First podcast ever, by the way.
No.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Awesome.
First one ever. First time I've ever been on one.
How'd it go?
It's phenomenal. It's a whole lot of fun.
You're the man.
I feel like I had to have the Super Bowl thing, and I'm like, yeah, I can feel comfortable going on and talking to people now.
Well, you have
the first one, dude. It's been a blast,
buddy. Listen, it's a badge of honor to be your first, Drew, and we appreciate that, my friend. We talked about the Super Bowl. We've talked about it a bunch. We've talked about how great it was. The experience was phenomenal. I would assume there was some not so fun stuff that maybe people don't talk about. Drew, what was the worst thing about the Super Bowl?
The worst thing about the Super Bowl. Um, Man, I would say like when it gets towards the end of the week and it's, Friday, Saturday, families are in town, you kind of want to keep as regular of a schedule as you can. Like,
Yeah.
I want to somehow hang out with my family for the afternoon, get dinner, come back, study, do the whole thing. As good as the security is and it's needed, it kind of makes it a hassle sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
shit.
making sure that my mom, my sister, her husband, my wife all have the right badge. And if I wanted someone else to come, I need to find another badge for this person. You know what I'm saying? And
I
then
do.
leaving the hotel, there's always people out there. You can't, I mean, you can leave, but it's going to be that car better be right here. Or it's even for me, like as a backup quarterback, I couldn't imagine like Sam having to deal with this or JSN having to deal with this. Like it makes it difficult, but at the same time, it's also positive because you're there, you're locking in, you're with the guys. Um, but man, the gymnastics behind the whole thing, the
Dude,
tickets, the tickets.
did
Well,
you
is
end
it?
up in the hole?
Tickets.
Yeah.
Uh, there was 15 purchased. So I didn't
Oh,
necessarily
so
end up
I will answer that for you. You played for free. You played for
Sheesh.
free, my
after
friend.
tax, played for free.
Yeah.
Played for
Yeah.
free. Well, what a
But
blessing to have the opportunity.
correct. Correct.
And speaking of opportunities, I feel like I missed one as a player. I feel like we would have. You run into these folks and you think of the times that you had with your teammates that you run into and all this stuff, and you also think about the teammates that you missed out on. And
Hmm.
one guy I wish I had gotten to play with is you, my friend Drew Lock, and get to hang out with. And one thing that the masses aren't going to be able to do, but I'm going to ask you to do is stick around after we end this thing so we can chat a little bit more. This is another episode of Monday Mornings with Mitch. We cannot thank you enough for Drew Lock joining us. My friend, God bless you. Congratulations on the Super Bowl and the family and that house in Loch Lloyd, which I know is going to be a motherfucker. Thank you for joining, my friend. God bless you.
Thanks, guys. It's been awesome.
All right. Until next time. And when it is next time, it'll be in good company. We'll see you next